It was early November 1997 when I, a child psychologist in Maine, started encountering something deeply unsettling. It began with one of my young patients, a boy, who talked incessantly about an imaginary friend he called Mr. Smile. At first, I dismissed it as a coping mechanism, a way for him to deal with the anger and depression that plagued him. Mr. Smile was described as always smiling, making everything feel happy and okay. The boy said Mr. Smile never spoke, just stood at the foot of his bed, radiating a calming presence that made his anger and sadness disappear. I thought little of it until another patient, a girl of about 9, started mentioning Mr. Smile. Then a 7-year-old boy. Then a 12-year-old boy and an 11-year-old girl. Soon, nearly 15 of my patients were talking about this same figure. I initially chalked it up to coincidence. After all, imaginary friends are common, and the name Mr. Smile was generic enough. But as more children described Mr. Smile in identical terms, it became harder to ignore. I decided to dig deeper. I spoke privately with each child's parents, hinting that something troubling was emerging and asking if I could involve the authorities. The parents agreed, as long as they were kept informed. The police began interviewing the children, trying to piece together the nature of Mr. Smile. They asked for descriptions of his appearance, how he entered their homes, and what he did during his visits. The children could only describe him as not like them, and said he sometimes sang a lullaby in a foreign language that made them feel safe. We placed cameras and baby monitors in the children's rooms, monitoring them round the clock. There were no signs of Mr. Smile. The children's rooms remained undisturbed, and no one was seen entering or leaving. As the weeks went by, doubts began to creep in. The situation seemed like a collective delusion, an eerie shared hallucination with no real basis. Some theorized that it might have been influenced by a TV show or movie, but the connection remained elusive. Then, the first boy went missing. The camera in his room had gone dead around 2 in the morning. His mother ran to his room, but he was gone. There was a distinct smell of cotton candy in the room. Despite an extensive search, no trace of him was found. The pattern continued. Another girl disappeared, then another boy. One by one, each child vanished, leaving only 4 remaining. These children began to speak of Mr. Smile's friends and the happy place, where everything was beautiful. They said Mr. Smile communicated with them telepathically, showing them pictures of this place in their minds. The situation worsened. The remaining children started experiencing severe headaches and nausea. Their schools reported hallucinations, and one child began screaming uncontrollably, saying the colors in Mr. Smile's visions were horrible and needed to go away. Another child claimed Mr. Smile was constantly whispering terrible things into their mind, things they couldn't talk about because it would make their parents aware. I managed to gain the trust of one boy, who agreed to write down what Mr. Smile was saying. He gave me a book with its contents known only to me and the authorities. The reactions of those involved when asked about it were always marked by silence and a hasty change of subject. As the days turned into weeks, the children stopped sleeping. Security camera footage showed them sitting bolt upright, unblinking, staring at walls. Sedatives failed to help. One girl began carving strange circular marks into her skin, while 2 boys spoke in an unidentifiable language that no one could translate. By early 1999, all 4 of the remaining children had vanished. There was no sign of who took them. Despite extensive searches, no clues or suspects were found. All 4, like the others before them, simply disappeared without a trace. To this day, their whereabouts remain a mystery.